Hello and welcome to Finextra TV. I'm Hannah Wallace and we're reporting from UK FinTech Week at IFGS in London. Kindly joining me now away from the busy event is Kirit Bhatia from Ripple. Kirit, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Really good to have you on. I know you've had a busy IFGS already and just come off stage from the panel Beyond Hype examining the real value proposition of crypto and digital assets. A really interesting one and at the heart of a lot of discussions over the course of the event. So eager to hear what was covered on stage because I know the session would have cut through the hype and looked at areas where we're seeing real tangible value. So what was the conclusion?
Yeah, so look, I think the big conclusion was, we Ripple have been around for 10 years in the crypto space. Number one, 5 years ago, having crypto on the stage, having the ex-UK Chancellor talk about his enthusiasm for the space, having the FCA, everyone here, really working with the industry to make that happen, tells you, firstly, there's something real, something very tangible here, right? It's not all the noise that you see in the headlines. For us, Ripple, we've been solving real world issues using the technology. So one we're most famous for is building the cross-border payment network using a digital asset called XRP over a decentralized ledger to solve that problem. Now, what is the problem, right? If you try and transact money today from across borders, it's expensive, it's slow, and it's not transparent, right? The traditional industry talks about 7-8% as a good number to take out of a cross-border transaction flow. Well, that is a huge number when you think about hardworking people at different ends of the social spectrum, sending money home, $100 home, you take out $8 out of that. That's a week's worth of grocery from somebody, right? That's a real tangible use case. We've built a network on blockchain, digital assets, clears into 40 markets, cleared 10 billion last year, we're probably going to double that this year, and we power on, right? And so the discussion is really around, okay, we've solved one problem with traditional financial infrastructure. What other problems can we solve? You can apply that to settling of equities, to bonds, right, and other assets, and we're moving into that sphere now, right? Using all our learnings, how can we help solve some of those other problems?
And what about benefits around the environment? How does it help there? You've touched on benefits for society and a bit about the economic benefits, but yeah, environmental, that's an interesting one.
No, that's a great one, actually. It's something you don't hear the industry talk about a lot, but it is now coming up, right? So we're actually super proud of the ledger that we use for cross-border. So the XRP ledger is a carbon neutral ledger. Interesting topic around the industry is actually if you add up the sum total of the energy consumed of the legacy infrastructure, and then you had carbon neutral blockchains like the XRP ledger, and using those, where do we see the benefits? And I think we clearly see the benefits of that. Has anybody measured it? I think it hasn't, but I think that's going to be something we see coming.
All right, and how can we then, and how are you at Ripple developing these applicants then?
So, specific to carbon, we have the ability to tokenize carbon credits onto the network, right? We've got a bunch of projects that are working on that, and we have a team kind of really evolving into that space. It's a new space, plenty of learnings to do, but the fact that all our learnings from cross-border space we can take to that. As I said, we operate on a carbon neutral ledger, that's hugely beneficial. So I think, a bit like the crypto journey we've had so far, as we enter the market, more dialogue, more learning, push out the message, we're going to see more adoption.
Sure. And the market has gone up and down, hasn't it? So what's your outlook for this space and any advice you'd want to end on there?
Yeah, so we've seen multiple of these cycles, right? I think we're probably in our fourth or fifth crypto winter, as we call it. We've held steadfast on the view that if you build and you solve real world problems, you'll be okay. We're super fortunate that even throughout this cycle, we hired over 350 talent into the company. We're not immune, we'll continue to invest sensibly, but keep building and keep solving. That's our motto.
Wonderful, some good advice to end on there as well. Well, Kirit, thank you so much for taking the time out of the event. I'll let you get back out there, but thanks for your time very much.
Thank you.